There is our cameraman on the opposite side of the field.
Hey, he's way up on top. I mean, you talk about elements. There's a man in the elements.
It's our buddy Herman Lang. He spent a lot of years in blimps and stuff like that. It's okay with him. He doesn't care.
Oh. These guys don't either. But I think this game has everything. I mean, you know, Chicago and the Bears and Soldier Fields and monsters and big guys and tough and guys in short sleeves and snow and everything. The only thing wrong is it got all that stuff and artificial turf.
Too bad we can't pick the All-Madden team today. Bears batted out of bounds. They were hoping for a roughing the kicker call against the Rams. They didn't get it. Punt was 26 yards. The Rams take over. They just haven't been able to get anything going on offense. 7-1 left to play. The Bears lead it 17-0. There is our location. They're saying the dream is over. The wait is over. The dream came true. And you can see the snow down in front of us. It's not over yet. But there's 7:51 left to play, and the Bears lead it 17-0. Think he knows what the score is? Back goes Dieter Brock under pressure. Intended for Henry Allard, incomplete. Richardson was with it. Everybody in this crowd just roaring and looking with anticipation. Well, not everybody's roaring.
Or not everybody's looking.
2nd and 10 Rams. They have it at their own 33. It's been a long wait for these Bear fans. Guys like Butkus and Sayers who never made it. This game's for them. That's Barry Redden over the left side. And the guy who just made the tackle went through a lot of years of frustration here too. Gary Fencik. 8 dark years when there were no playoffs. And he and his buddy Doug Plank, after whom the 46 defense was named.
I'll tell you, there's a real contradiction in Gary Fencik. I mean, here's a guy, you know, smooth, nice guy, good-looking guy, sweet guy, Mr. Clean, graduate of Yale University. But I'll tell you, when you get that, well, he gets that look in his eye, and he's a Jekyll and Hyde. He's a different guy.
Brock has the ball batted here. Nobody can see it. Steve McMichael had a shot at it, and he had a touchdown if he had come up with it. They just couldn't find it way up in the air.
Tell you, Steve McMichael is a guy that's been playing this last part of the season on just guts. Watch him here. He has a bad knee. He's going to have surgery after the season. He has, you know, foreign particles in there. Looks like it hit Duerson right in the face. Bounced up. McMichael's going to, I got it, dropped it. And his guys are giving, there's Hampton saying, oh, you had it.
Duerson is back deep for the Bears this time. Going to let Hatcher's punch bounce, and it goes out of bounds at about the 11. And 6:48 now left to play. Don't forget today an NCAA college doubleheader. Ohio State against Boston College, or Kentucky against the Florida Gators, live at 2 o'clock Eastern Time. That's the first game. Then the doubleheader will have Syracuse against Louisville or Arizona against Miami. Check your local listing for the starting time. The snow continues, and the crowd continues to yell, and the Bears lead it. And it looks like they're headed for New Orleans.
I think they head first for Champaign, Illinois. I think they're going to work this first week at the University of Illinois and go down to New Orleans.
McMahon gives to Payton. Payton finds very little running room. It's been that way all day. The leader of the defense, Samurai, Mike Singletary.
Well, yeah, you're talking about different personalities. The same type of guy. You see him off the field, He has the glasses, very articulate, very nice guy, soft-spoken. You see him on the field, he's wild. He's wild.
Got the button-down collar, the tie.
Yeah, he'll wear a striped suit on you.
Carry a briefcase.
Boy, but I'll tell you, he could change from that briefcase to a look in his eye.
2nd and 10 at the 11. And McMahon's going to go to work. He does. Intended for Reitman. Too far in front.
Hey, there's another guy that's having a good game today. Jim Covert, number 74. You know, he's had it every game that we've seen. Last week it was against Leonard Marshall, and he's had it against Jeff Coat. He's had it against all those guys. He's the captain of this Bear offense.
He's another of those that was drafted in 1983.
Yeah, that's quite a tribute. You know, for a guy just to be in his 3rd year, be in the Pro Bowl, and be the captain.
McMahon will operate this time out of the spread. Snowing a little harder. Dennis Gentry was the ball carrier. And now the Bears again will have to punt as Jim Collins made the tackle. Hit this.
There's the only guy I've said that's on the All-Madden team is Hampton. He got the worst looking hands. He got a left finger. He was showing me the other night, you know, that he can't bend and it has grafts and stuff in it. So if they go to the Super Bowl, he's going to have him measure that finger, get the ring for that left ugly finger, and then have it melted down and put it on his right to get a lot more gold that way.
That finger of his looks like an elbow.
Yeah, these guys think about that. That's how they think. They got elbows for fingers.
Buford gets it off the side of his foot. The Rams have trouble handling, and Johnson gets it out of bounds in Bear territory at about the 47. 37-yard punt, 4-yard return. 5:08 now left to play. 17-0 Bears. Now this, appropriately enough, is Bear weather. This is really what they were hoping for.
They like to do that, those linemen, you know, get out there, snow, cold, windy, and get those shirt sleeves, you know, roll the sleeves up, get those big arms hanging out there. They got them all pumped up, you know, big old arms on them. But let's see if you can see those fingers. Those are bad-looking hands. I mean, he bends his hand, and only a couple of things bend. I mean, some stay straight and a few bend. He said, I hate to shake hands. I keep in my pockets a lot.
There have been some years of frustration for him around here, too. And he's a tremendous player.
Well, you know, he's one of those guys that's in the same group as a Howie Long.
Yep.
He's kind of a player's player, man's man, that type of guy. Can play anywhere, up and down the line, inside, outside, in. Play the run, play the pass, block a kick, you know, play the whole game.
They're loving it. Just over 5 minutes left to play. Brock goes back to throw. Going deep for Brown. Frazier right there. Good play.
You know, I still say, and we talked about it before, this 46 defense, they commit 8 guys, that you have to have guys like Leslie Frazier. Frazier can go, watch him, Ron Brown, he's the fastest guy in the game. He just mirrors him, just runs step for step, doesn't interfere, gets good position, sees the ball, is always where he's supposed to be.
Remember that interception we saw him make against Green Bay?
The greatest play by a defensive back I've ever seen in my life.
2nd and 10, they give to Redden. Redden will have enough, I believe, for a Ram first down before Duerson and Fencik bring him down. A pickup of 11. And they will move the sticks, I believe.
One thing, they popped that right through there between the line. You know, they thought maybe they would be able to get a little of that inside running. Of course, now I think it's too little, too late. But
4.5 minutes, I was just going to say.
Yeah, I was just saying, I think the Rams are this year like the Bears were a year ago against the 49ers. And the Bears were like the 49ers were last year.
Same record. To Dickerson. Otis Wilson. They're in a hurry. A loss of 2. Even in a great year last year, the 49ers, no team has ever recorded back-to-back shutouts in playoff history. That's some accomplishment. And again, don't want to say it too many times, but we still haven't seen anybody in that Bear end zone in the 5 games we've done.
There's Buddy Ryan. He's the engineer or the architect again of this defense. And those players all love Buddy. He doesn't even call him by name, just calls him by number and nickname.
Here's Redden again. Otis Wilson and Wilbur Marshall made the stop. They've both had tremendous years.
But he calls his players like Wilson's, 55 and 50 and so on. And he just tells them this 22, you do this. He said he started doing that. He said when he first came to the Bears, he didn't know the player. He had a 5th defensive back named Walter Scheid,
right,
who he would put in, on the nickel. And he said he forgot his name. He was calling him Bashnagel. He said he'd get third line and say, Bashnagel, Bashnagel.
The Bashnagel,
he was a receiver.
He was a wide receiver, right. Here's Brock on 3rd down. Chased by Dent and down. The ball is loose, and the Bears have it. This is Wilbur Marshall with the ball. Marshall, if it's still alive, he's in the end zone. A sack by Dent and a touchdown by Marshall. Players have scored touchdowns this year. That was Wilbur Marshall. Kevin Butler for the extra point. Steve Fuller holding. Almost everything else, the extra point is perfect. Richard Dent, he was standing up. You see him, and Tony Hunter just couldn't get out. He wasn't quick enough. He got his hands on him. Dent comes in, grabs Dieter Frog, just strips the ball right out of there. Watch him, he's outside in a stand-up position. See Hunter, 87, tries to turn out, and then Pankey tries to get out. They can't. He just strips and turns them. The ball comes flying out. Wilbur Marshall picks it up, finishes it off. What 2 playoff games Richard Dent has had. Marshall got away from Dickerson, and now he's picked up a convoy. Richard Dent last week against the Giants played, I think, the most dominant game that I've ever seen a defensive lineman play. Marshall and Wilson and the Bear fans. There's going to be a hot time tonight, no matter what the weather is. There's Walter Payton. It's been a long time coming. Brown. And a penalty marker is down, and Brown is off to the races. Cut down by Kevin Butler. That might help him make the All-Madden team, but they're going to bring everything back. Hey, he had to get out there. He was in a foot race. The kicker was in a foot race with Ron Brown to the sideline. Kevin Butler got him. Of course, it didn't count anyway, but it looked. I have to believe Kevin Butler might lose that race most every time.
Yeah, but see, he's there. He's telling him how he did it. You know, these guys hardly ever make tackles once. He said, I'm going over. I cut him off at the pass. I throw, and I just went for that knee. I took his knee out, and then he had to go. Wherever the knee goes, you have to go, he's saying. Yeah, they'll brag about that. You know, those guys can kick, make field goals, extra points, point. But I was talking about that tackle they made.
So the Rams are backed up to their 10-yard line. And we have 2 minutes and 24 seconds before the real celebration starts. It's Redden on the draw play. Gooman was the other back that time. Dickerson's out.
I'll tell you, maybe the most underrated players on that defense is Wilbur Marshall. You know, he's been all over the place.
Not to Mike Ditka.
I mean, he's the guy that has to cover the tight end man-to-man, make the plays, has the speed, makes the hits.
That's a 2-minute warning, and the Bears have it locked. The unusual Bear quarterback, Jim McMahon.